So the movie almost starts with this banger. In this video, we are reviewing a super hit movie with evergreen songs, top-notch action, and superstars like Madhuri Dixit, Anil Kapoor, and many others. Mohini is a stage dancer whose father Shamlal is a greedy drunkard and is under debt of some influential goon named Lotia Pathan. Lotia's men come and ask for money and threaten to kill Shamlal. As a result, Mohini's father demands the money from Saxena, the producer of the shows that Mohini dances for. The producer tricks him by giving him money and gets Mohini for rehearsals of the dance show. Mohini sobs that her father is selling her for money. The producer, however, gets her father beaten up by his men and takes his money back. In the next scene, Mohini is on stage singing and dancing that super hit Bollywood Ek Do Teen song when Lotia and his clan barge in the theatre and kidnap Mohini from there. In the parallel setting, a young man named Munna, played by Anil Kapoor, collects money from the street vendors and apparently provides them with shelter to run their businesses smoothly. One day, Munna receives a letter from his sister from Bombay asking him to return as she is in trouble. In a police station, the police is anxious over Lotia gang's robberies. A police official says that they have also received the report of a banished criminal named Munna to have returned to the city. Upon seeing his file, the in-charge officer recognizes him as Mahesh Deshmukh. The file says that he is a dangerous criminal having committed a murder, but the officer says that he knows him as an innocent, sentimental and a zestful young man.
आप इसे जानते हैं सर? जानता था.
Officer then recalls an incident from 2 years ago when he was posted in Nasik, where Munna's parents used to work in a bank nearby and Munna had passed a naval cadet test. One day, robbers broke in the bank and killed both of Mahesh's parents, an incident that evokes extreme empathy among the viewers. Following this tragic event, Mahesh shifts to Bombay with his sister. The police officer now vows to catch Mahesh to know how he became such a dangerous criminal. Mahesh visits his sister in Bombay, who tells him that Lotia Pathan has abducted Mohini and he has to get her out. Mahesh goes to Shamlal and Saxena and asks for 50,000 rupees in return for Mohini's release from Lotia Pathan, to which Saxena agrees. In the streets of Bombay, some friends of Mahesh spot him, greet him enthusiastically and ask how he got out of prison, to which he answers that he had to come for Mohini and reveals his plan of getting her out of abduction. The funny thing here is that Chunky Pandey, who is playing the role of Babban, looks just like male Ananya Pandey. On their way to Lotia's place, Munna and his friends get stopped by the same police officer who wants to arrest Munna. But Munna somehow convinces him to go with them to Lotia's place. On their way, the officer asks him how he went on to the evil path, to which Munna starts narrating the events from the beginning. Now the story starts in the flashback. He tells that after coming to Bombay, he started a job in a swimming club where he met Mohini. Munna and Mohini then fell for each other after a series of typical Bollywood nuances. Shamlal visits Lotia Pathan for loan, where they discuss how Munna was the reason of Lotia's brother being jailed and Shamlal's daughter getting out of his hands, making him the enemy of both of them. Mohini then meets Mahesh, tells him that her father beat her up for meeting him and tells how her mother died due to her father's acid attack on her. Hence the name of the movie, Tezaab. After hearing her story, Mahesh proposes to marry Mohini the same day. She agrees to it. Mahesh goes to bring his friends to the temple for the ceremony, and Mohini goes to Mahesh's house to bring his sister Jyoti with her. Upon reaching his house, she finds that Lotia's men have come to Munna's house in his search and are trying to rape Jyoti. Mohini runs to Mahesh, tells him about the event, who runs to the scene, fights Lotia's men, saves his sister and kills one of the attackers. Police then comes on the scene and arrests Munna. The court sentences Mahesh to 1 year of imprisonment and frees Lotia's men. There, all of Lotia's illegal businesses, including all the casinos, have been shut by the police and Lotia is on the run. Shamlal forces Mohini to dance, but she doesn't, and he locks her up in a house. Mahesh comes out of the prison and goes straight to Shamlal's house, but Sham does not tell him where Mohini is. Munna barges out of the house with the firm resolve of finding Mohini. Sham then goes to Mohini and says to her that Munna has died. Though unwillingly, but Mohini falls into depression believing this. An old friend Guldasta tells Munna about Mohini's whereabouts. He reaches there, finds Mohini and sees that she is shouting in depression, but eventually recognizes and embraces him. When Munna tells her that Guldasta told him about her location, Mohini senses danger, telling Munna that she saw Guldasta meeting Shamlal earlier that day. Hearing which, Munna understands that he is about to get into trouble. He flees the scene and next day catches Guldasta, confronts him and presents him to the police as a witness of his innocence and Shamlal's crime. But police instead beats and locks up Guldasta. Munna gets violent on this, beating policeman, result of which is his banishment from the city for 1 year by the court. Scene shifts to present day where Mahesh is telling his story to the police officer. Officer empathizes with him and Mahesh asks for permission of 24 hours without arrest. The officer lets him go. Mohini, who was abducted by Lotia in the beginning of the movie, is being asked by him to return her father's debt. Munna and his friends come to the village where Mohini is a captive. They decide to spread in the area and start searching. Munna, while walking, starts blowing the whistle of the song he once sang with Mohini. She hears the whistle from the slum, comes on the window, and both of them see each other. To distract Lotia's men, Munna lets fire and runs to Mohini. A huge fight erupts, but Munna and his friends successfully get out of the area with Mohini and several women and children working as Lotia's slaves. Seeing his empire crumbling down, Lotia swears to finish Munna. Munna brings Mohini to her father and Saxena and receives 50,000 rupees. Mohini is once again heartbroken. He comes back home and tells his sister that he did it all because he is on the run and he is unable to provide shelter to Mohini. Later, as promised to the police officer, he presents himself to the police and eventually comes in court hearing. Court proves him innocent and sets him free. Now Guldasta comes to Munna and convinces him to patch up with Mohini.
मैं तुम्हें मोहिनी के बगैर नहीं जाने दूंगा, हरगिज़ नहीं जाने दूंगा.
He does the same while he goes to Mohini.
नफरत करती हूँ मैं उससे, नफरत करती हूँ उसके ख्याल से, नफरत करती हूँ उसके ख्याल से.
यही तो चाहता था वो, कि तुम उससे नफरत करने लगो.
In a fight that follows, Shamlal and Guldasta both die with each other's hands at the same time in a very, very Bollywoodish style. Munna's friends are told that Lotia has returned to take revenge. They unite to fight for Munna and an extensive fight erupts. Lotia kills Munna's bestie Babban. And then Munna kills Lotia in a fist fight. The movie ends with Ek Do Teen playing in the background and I think it's a happy ending. The background score is convincing, the acting is top-notch, songs are super hit, costumes are on point, direction and cinematography are awesome. I give this movie an 8.